Hey, I'm in the garden and it's fall. We had the autumn equinox yesterday, but I'm still gardening. Stay tuned and I'll show you what I'm planting in my garden, and it's called succession garden. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is my garden, vegetable garden. We've done through this year. Weird year for growing veggies. Some crops just total fail. Other crops, it just had to keep planting just to get them to grow something. So I think the problem was my seed as I stored in the greenhouse. That's a fail. Don't store seeds in the heat. Keep them in a cool, dark, dry place around 60 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, a pantry, a larder, or a root cellar is probably the best place to store your seeds. In a jar, you know, and keep moisture from getting to them. But I think that's what the problem was, is having a hard time getting seeds started in my garden this year. Anyway, over here in this front bed, we have kale. I think we're at the end of this kale. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it, salvage what I can and feed the rest of it to the livestock. I'm sure they're gonna enjoy it. So with the idea in mind of pulling up the kale and growing some new fresh kale, I can do the succession crops, but it's important to rotate your crops. Don't grow the same stuff every single year or every single season, the same kind of vegetable in the same spot. You get prone to diseases. So in this bed with the kale, I already planted peas along the trellis. They're going to be germinating coming up. That is a crop you can grow in the fall. I also put in winter squash. That's going to be coming up. I'll pull the kale out and give that room to grow. Yeah. And in this other garden, the middle bed, I have string beans. Haven't produced beans yet, not even this back row here. I grew them at 2 different times, like a couple of months apart. They're about the same size, but they have not fruited. I don't know, I don't understand. I just don't understand. Anyway, I also planted some more veggies in there. It was cabbage that I planted along there. So when the cabbage is ready to sprout, the cooler weather will cause the die-off of the crop that's in there. So I'm playing ahead of the game. I'm planting the crops now, and with the idea in mind that the crops that are in the bed now maturing, they're gonna die. I got some Brussels sprouts growing in here. I started from seed, so it's now time to thin them out, and I'll plant them in this back bed here. But I also have more cabbage growing in here. Plus I have my zucchini. Now when the weather starts getting cold, it's gonna kill off all my zucchini crops. But I do have some zucchini blooming. Yeah, I got some zucchini fruiting. I also have some cucumbers, more pickles for the shelf, for the pantry. Yeah, my famous zesty, spicy dill pickles. Not too impressed with my tomatoes. Of course, my wife and I kind of quit eating tomato products because they were having adverse effects on our bodies. It turns out for us, they are an inflammatory fruit, and we just don't want to get swollen. Yeah, no, Since we are here in the back part of the garden, I've been trying experiments with different types of mulch. I got the black plastic, I got the wood chips to keep it cool, and I'm changing things up because I really like the way my garden turned out with the weed barrier, overlaid with pea gravel. So we're ordering more pea gravel. We're getting in more weed barrier. We're gonna go this total back spot. I'm gonna bring the tractor in, dig up some of these stumps. I'm gonna try to transplant this mullein though. I really want to keep the mullein because they're very medicinal. Yeah. Anyway, corn crops did crap this year. I didn't get not one kernel of corn, so it's like weird year for my garden. Some things did great, other things it was just a big fail. And of course with these other beds, I planted in different varieties of lettuce and spinach. I do have lettuce going in there now. And then over here, where the cucumber is growing, when the cold weather comes and causes the cucumber to shrivel, I've got beans that can grow through the fall and into the winter. I've got them planted there already, ready to germinate and come up. And with the cucumbers covering the soil, it'll keep the weeds back and also keep the soil from drying out to where yeah, because the seeds won't germinate in dry soil. So that's why I'm doing it this way. My strawberry bed, I was at Walmart the other day and they're clearing out their items, and I got 4 strawberry packets. $1.50 a piece is what they're selling them for. And then they had a whole row of lawnmowers out there. They got them cut. Way out of my budget, but I was down there, what, 3 or 4 years ago. Came through the garden department, saw a lawnmower down there, and I bought that lawnmower. I think I paid $25 for it. Brand new. It was just the floor display model. They just had them priced to move out of the store. So yeah, keep an eye on that for bargains at the end of the season. Those prices are going to drop even some more. Grapes. This is the most epic crop of grapes. Of course, I've never grown grapes before until now. These started out as bare root. I ordered from a seed catalog online. This is Catawba. I've got Niagara down there, and that fruited, but I cut the fruit off because I want it to root more. And then next year I might have better fruit on the one down there at the gate. But this one, I'm harvesting the grapes, and I'm going to try to make some table wine. You know, just try it because I love adventures. I just want to try everything. Also here in my strawberry bed, I have some raspberries that I'm letting grow in here. I'm going to be pulling up the canes and planting raspberries in a different location. But boy, once raspberries get established, they take over. So I'm going to try a different technique at growing raspberries and keep them contained. But anyway, I also have asparagus that I started from seed, and I've been harvesting asparagus. So when the asparagus comes up, it comes up through the strawberry. So I'm able to grow like a companion garden because the strawberries will keep the soil moist and covered and keep weeds out. And then every once in a while I'll see a little sprig that gets nice, big, and fat, and I'll cut it and harvest it for the table. Yeah. This other bed here, I got some carrots. I got carrots growing in there. I've got turnips and beets. 2 different variety of turnip and beets. And of course along the trellis I have a different variety of beans. Up here on this trellis is yellow beans. Down there is green beans. And then in the front one, I got 3 different varieties of radish. 3 variety of radish. You can grow those right now. It's fall. Put them in the ground, grow them. And I also planted my peas also. I got peas growing on each side of that trellis, that front trellis. So hopefully we'll get something. I didn't get any peas this year. Didn't get any beans this year. It sucked this year. It sucked bad. I also moved my pepper plants indoors. Peppers you can dig up and you can save and grow over winter in the garden. May not fruit, but you can grow them and plant them next year so you get a head start on them. Tomatoes you can clip a clipping and take off most of the leaves and root those, and you can get a head start on tomatoes for next year too. Grow them in your greenhouse through the winter. I've got a tomato plant over here growing. It was a volunteer growing with strawberries. Not sure what variety it is. Since it's small, I'm just going to dig it up, pot it, put it in the greenhouse, and see what comes of it. I'm also going to be planting a lot of salad crops. That greenhouse is going to be full of lettuce and spinach coming up here pretty quick. So stay tuned to that video. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a frugal homestead tucked high in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest. Please stay tuned to more videos. You can do that by subscribing, clicking that bell icon. That alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Give us a thumbs up. Share my videos on your social media platforms. It helps us out. Be safe always. Be kind. We'll see you guys in the next adventure. Bye-bye now.